What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the F124 Ferrari Driver Career Mode. Yes, we are back for the penultimate Grand Prix of the season here in Qatar. Last time out, we had the sprint race, and which showed decent pace, better than we expected. And currently now we are still behind Max Verstappen. We did gain 1 point on him in the championship, so it is now 11 points. Charles Leclerc is mathematically out of the title fight. So we did secure the constructors standings, as you can see on the right hand side there with that beautiful trophy Ferrari. We haven't secured the constructor standings since 2008, I believe it is, and now we are finally able to do it again. So let's jump into qualifying now for the penultimate Grand Prix of the season here in Qatar.
It's all about flow and pace today, qualifying in Qatar. A high-speed test that will set the grid for tomorrow's race. So welcome along.
Well, now as we prepare to start our first run of the first part of qualifying here in Qatar, I do have a big announcement to make while I do this lap. I am getting a wheel and the base and some pedals, of course, Logitech, and it's a very nice wheel. It is very expensive, but I have been saving up just so I could get such a wheel, and it is very nice. I haven't ordered it yet, but I will, and not exactly sure when it will be here or when I will get everything all set up. However, I'm hoping I can start the next season of our Ferrari Driver Career Mode on the wheel, which will obviously take some time to get, acclimated to. But I will have plenty of practice before the first race of the season in Bahrain for a second season of this amazing career mode. So yeah, that was my announcement, and I have to find a desk and a nice chair to set this up on, as I go very deep there. I don't know why I held the inside. This is a very scruffy lap, but as we go very wide there, P13. We're gonna I can say I'm very excited for this wheel and what kind of racing lies ahead as we cross the line and go third fastest. We're here at the end of Q1. Sergio Perez is fastest with Lance Stroll up in 4th position, 4/10 off the pace, so clearly some decent pace from Aston Martin this weekend. And out in Q1 we have Kevin Magnussen, Logan Sargent, Zhou Guanyu, Valtteri Bottas, and Daniel Ricciardo. I just absolutely love the way that this car bites through the corners. I've got so much front end, but also so much in the department of straight line speed as well. This Ferrari car has become so incredibly quick over the course of the season. You know, we won the first race in Bahrain, and then we had a kind of iffy mid-season run. But now here at the end of the season, we are back on the pace. Absolutely haven't lost a race since Singapore, where we nearly won in a dramatic race to the end with Max Verstappen. But now we're going to head up towards the line, and that is fastest of the session so far. Well, into Q2, we are 2.5 tenths quicker than Lewis Hamilton and Lando Norris and our teammate Charles Leclerc. Let's see, any surprises? We got Alex Albon, Esteban Ocon, Pierre Gasly, Yuki Tsunoda, and Nico Hülkenberg all out in Q2. So the usual suspects make it through into Q3. And yeah, let's try and go for pole. Well, this has not been the greatest lap in the world, but then again, I am on a used set of soft tires. This is the set that I used to set my Q1 lap as we go sort of wide onto the curbs there. And now we have to lift. Whoa, as I get a big wobble out of the penultimate corner. And now we head out of the final corner. And now DRS will be wide open up towards the line. And it is going to be 7th fastest. So quite a scruffy lap from us. But we do have a fresh set of tires to use. Well, now as we head out of the pit lane to start our last final run of quali, looks like we will be last out of the pits to set our lap. So we've got nice clear air in front of us. So let's get our tires nice and warmed up and let's get this lap done. Well, here we go now. Tires are all warmed up. We've got clear air in front of us. Let's get this lap done and go for pole. There is just so much downforce in this car through that final sector. It's unbelievable, but now we're going to head up towards the line. Is it pole position for us?
Pole position.
Yes, it is. We have pole position here for the Qatar Grand Prix. We can see their pole by 2/10 from Lando Norris, then Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen down in fourth. He'll be wanting to get a good start off the line tomorrow, as will Charles Leclerc. Then comes Lewis Hamilton in his Mercedes, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, George Russell, and Lance Stroll. So, looks like we're going to be in a good battle between the McLarens and Red Bulls tomorrow. Let's do this.
Welcome back to Qatar and the Lusail International Circuit. There's a long history of two-wheeled motorsport action here, but in 2021, Lewis Hamilton won out as part of an epic battle that year with Max Verstappen. But who will win out tonight? So we're back here in Lusail, and this is the track map. 3.34 miles, 16 turns, and just one DRS zone out of turn 16. It's already a fast and flowing track after all. There's a good overtaking opportunity with DRS, though, through the long straight and into turn 1. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Mr. Monaco lines up on pole position, edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Perez, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Russell, Stroll, Albon, Ocon, Gasly, Tsunoda, Verstappen, Hülkenberg, Hamilton, Sargent, Joe, Bottas, Ricciardo, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend, Anthony Davidson. Let's look at their season, and particularly against their teammate. Fair to say, they've got the better of them more often than not.
Yeah, they have, and it's, rule number 1, beat your teammate. They're the one that share the same equipment as you, and yes, the cars can vary and set up from race to race, and depending on who has which style, but essentially they're your barometer, the yardstick. If you can beat them, that's the first job you have to do, and it looks like it's going their way, doesn't it? And they need to carry on this momentum, this energy through the rest of the season.
Here we go for the penultimate round of the season, and I'm super excited to get into this. Now, if we win the race with the fastest lap and Max Verstappen finishes third, we will be level on points going in to the final race of the season. Of course, we will go for the one-stop mediums to hards. Let's do this.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out.
Once again, grid penalties affecting Max Verstappen there.
We're almost ready to start the race as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
Well, there we go. As I will line up in my pole position grid slot, it will be quite the chore for Max Verstappen to gain 10 positions if he wants to lead the championship coming out of this round. Although even if we were level on points, I would still be leading because I have more wins than him this season. And now we need to make sure we get the best possible start off the line that we can as the green flag is going to wave. And now it is going to be 3, 4, 5 red lights ready for the Qatar Grand Prix. And it's lights out. And away we go. And we do get a better start off the line than Lando Norris. But Charles Leclerc, look at that absolutely fantastic start from our teammate there. And we're going to go side by side down into turn 1. And now Norris has dropped down to 3rd off the line. But we hold the lead heading in up through turn 2. As you can just see so much understeer in the car through there. And Charles Leclerc clearly enjoying himself, being very racy off the start. You could see that was a great getaway from the Monegasque driver. So that's Piastri in 5th, fighting away with Sergio Perez, and he'll be wanting to chase down Lando Norris. Red Bull know they've lost the Constructors' title, so now it is crucial that Max Verstappen makes up any positions that he can. I'm not sure how he got off the line, but I would assume it's very well in that Red Bull car that he has got. And now we're going to head up through this completely flat 3rd sector, as I'm actually too high of a gear, as I just got to lift off the circuit there as we go a little bit wide. And lift off the throttle there into the penultimate corner. You can see already 5% the tire wear. And now we're going to go very, very wide out of the final corner, and that's contact with our teammate Charles Leclerc, and that has to be my mistake, as now we're going to pick up a slipstream on Sergio Perez and Lando Norris ahead. Can we retake the lead even after getting that horrible start? I feel terrible there for that contact with our teammate. However, there's nothing more we can do now. We want to make sure I don't have some sort of puncture in the rear right. Okay, so I know that I originally said it was my fault, but now that I'm watching this replay, it really is Charles Leclerc's fault. I mean, you can just watch here. He does get a little bit of understeer, which is not his fault. However, you can see heading into the final corner, he's turning his steering all the way to the right. And then, look, right here. Yep, right here. He opens the steering back up for whatever reason. And I'm already halfway off the circuit. Like, I can't be any farther off of the track. I'm already 2 wheels off the white line. But then Leclerc just like takes the actual racing line like I'm not even there. So I do think it is at least partially his fault. And we can see it from Lando Norris's perspective as well. And then, yep, he just swoops by right into the lead. So now, Lando Norris leads the Qatar Grand Prix. His teammate won the sprint race here last season as a rookie. Can Norris win the full Grand Prix here today? Not sure if McLaren really have the pace. However, his dirty air will be affecting us massively. Well, now as we head out of the final corner to start lap 4, tire wear is just absolutely insane. You can see, especially on the left-hand side of the cars, our teammate Charles Leclerc has the fastest lap of the Grand Prix just after we do, and now we're going to get to the outside of Lando Norris. Can we hold it going into turn 1? The car isn't really wanting to bite through these longer corners, which is different from what I saw in qualifying. And now we retake the lead, of course, of the Qatar Grand Prix. Can we pull away from Lando, or will he have a run at us back up into turn 1? Well, now Lando Norris is all over the back of us heading down into turn 1. He's going to go for the inside line, and before we even get to the braking zone, he is back ahead of us. But now I'm trying to optimize my exit speed as we get a little bit of a wobble out of the exit there of turn 1, and another big old slide at the back. Lando Norris retakes the lead, and Leclerc still holds the fastest lap, as I can see how close Checo is getting to me, and I want to get back up to Lando Norris now. It seems we are much quicker in the third sector. The AI don't really seem to be taking that section flat out when you can on these fresher, more grippier tires. I just kind of want to see how much I'm gaining through that sector. Well, now we gained so much time through that final sector. As you can see, I just kept the throttle planted, but now we aren't going to have as much batteries. We get a little bit of a slide out of the final corner, and we're going to tuck into the substream, but won't be enough to get close to Lando Norris. And the left side of the car, the tires seem to be degrading twice as fast as the right, so we will have to come in to the pit lane soon. I mean, team want us in around lap 14, so 7 laps time from now. If we manage correctly, we can make it to the pit window.
The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap. Well done.
Well, the McLaren does have excellent straight line speed, but we, with the DRS wide open, are going to get that little bit of extra speed and couple miles an hour speed difference in order to clear the McLaren. But right now Lando does hold the position, but we're going to go for the inside, and that makes him cover it, so then that's going to compromise his line heading into this corner. And now can we have a look heading down in the braking zone? No, we cannot. Lando Norris does hold the lead of the Grand Prix with some amazing defense, as there's Nico Hulkenberg out of the session. So I'm not sure what happened there. Assume his engine went up in smoke. Has have been having terrible reliability in recent races. Hopefully our Ferrari engine can stay intact.
Okay, you're within 1 second of the car ahead. Get ready to use DRS for the overtake.
Well, I am using DRS for the overtake now, Mark, and I'm going to try to go up the inside. Not really a corner that you can be later on the brakes into, given its wide nature. And now we just about get behind Lando Norris, and he clears us, as now we're going to head by
Come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
Nico Hulkenberg's stricken Haas car, as you can see. And Lando just slammed the door on us there, so it's very clear that we will need to be ahead going into the braking zone if we want to get past Lando. Well, we are now quite a bit closer to Lando Norris than we have in the last few laps that have gone by, as we get a big ol' kicker wheel spin out of the final corner. Are we going to have enough to have a look on Lando? You can see we pass him in terms of speed. We're gaining and gaining. We're going to switch to the outside line, and as I said, the left tires are extremely degraded, which means that right-hand turns are extremely slow now.
Okay,
as
mate, Lando ahead. We don't want to let this hold us up too long, so do your best to get past and get on with the race. Oh,
well, I'm
great
trying,
stuff.
Mark.
You hit that target. Really good job.
As now we lose the lead to Lando Norris once again. I find it extremely hard to focus when Mark is just yapping in my ear for no reason. But we are now all over the back of Lando, and if we can stay this close throughout the rest of the lap into the final corner, we could have a look on him into turn 1. However, if not, I think an undercut is extremely doable here, as now Checo Perez is still all over the back of me, followed by Charles Leclerc and Oscar Piastri and Max Verstappen. He is in 6th position, and he's just starting to lose touch with this gaggle of cars, actually. Surprisingly, Max has not been able to make as much of an impact as he would have thought. As now we are going to round the final corner, and we're still going to be in Norris's DRS as I go so wide through that final corner. I'm extremely lucky that I do have the DRS to pull away.
To pit this lap, so push now, push.
And Charles Leclerc there making a move on our teammate, sorry, making a move on Max Verstappen's teammate, Sergio Perez, in the Red Bull. He does get past him up into the final podium position. And now we head up through turn 3. And now Norris is going to pull away from us ever so slightly now through these right-handers. You can just see how slow the car is. I mean, 65%, that's getting into the danger zone. Now we don't want to wear these tires to the point where they explode. As now it is a second is the gap between myself and Lando Norris, and we need to keep that under a second. You can see it's just drifting there. Oh, as we go over a curb, and that really unsettled the car. And now I am losing touch with the McLaren driver. We need to keep pushing. As now here goes Charles Leclerc. Is he going to go to the outside? No, he's not. He knows better than to make a move through that section as we go extremely wide there. So now 1.5 is the gap between myself and race leader Lando Norris. As now we're going to come into the pit lane. I almost went to the right hand side there, as I do miss this old pit lane. This new pit lane I'm not a huge fan of. I missed the older one. As now we could have been a little more aggressive into the pit lane, but I didn't want to risk anything at all. Now we need to hope and pray that Lando Norris has a slower stop than we do. As now we're going to go onto the hard tires, and of course we have a slow stop, but it looks like so did Norris. So that is Max Verstappen, our championship rival, has jumped us in the pit lane now. Remember, 11 points is the gap between myself and the Dutchman. So now Max coming into the pit lane means he will certainly get an undercut on Piastri, Perez, and Leclerc. And now I need to make sure I am refining where the grip is. So Norris and I both had slow stops. So at least Norris isn't like 5 seconds up the road or something insane like that. And fighting with Max will only be beneficial to us because we will be gaining. And now let's see if they have cleared Piastri, Perez, and Leclerc.
Charles is in the pits.
Well, our teammate Charles Leclerc into the pit lane now for a Ferrari team. And now I have so much grip back as I can be taken completely flat, as can this corner if you take it good enough, but now I go wide. So that will be Max fighting with Lando down into turn 1. And now we're going to head down the main straight, and yes, they are going to get out ahead.
So, all of our tyre pressure data is currently reading 0. Assuming they still look inflated to you, we're going to guess that it's just a bad sensor. Shouldn't be anything to worry about.
So actually, Charles Leclerc and Oscar Piastri have got the jump on us, but Max Verstappen has passed all of them. So now suddenly Max finds himself in second, and we're down to 5th. And we need to stay with this group of cars, or else I think Max could win the title here.
The Red Bull drivers just moved into first place.
So we need to make sure we do everything we can to prevent that from happening. Get yellow flags out. Somebody has some issues. Can't really tell who it is. At the moment, I'm just trying to focus on the track ahead of me. It looks like, is that an Aston Martin? Yes, it is. Not sure which one it is, though. Just trying to see. It is pulling over to the wayside, trying to find somewhere to park it, and it is Lance Stroll, so the Canadian driver, out of the Qatar Grand Prix. And we are 1.9 seconds behind Oscar Piastri, and every time they activate the DRS down this big old main straight, everything that I gained through the whole lap is just negated. So really, I'm just relying on the concertina effect here, and Piastri is actually falling out of DRS range to Charles Leclerc. I think just coming out of that penultimate corner, we were in the DRS range of Piastri at the line, and yes, we were. So that was an absolute barnstormer of a lap. That was like a qualifying lap that I did there, and that was also the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. You can see I just deployed everything that I had in terms of battery and power, and now we've really brought ourselves back up into play here. Piastri seems to be losing touch with Leclerc and that group ahead of the top three, and I need to get these moves done now before my tires go completely and I can't get back past him. Well, heading out of the final corner once again, we are going to have DRS and a slipstream on Piastri, and if we deploy a little bit of battery here, can we switch to the outside as they're going nearly 3 wide into turn 1. You can see for the lead of the race, Max Verstappen has the inside line on Lando Norris as we now take 4th position off of Norris's teammate Piastri, and Verstappen still side by side with Lando Norris, and Charles Leclerc has a front row seat to this battle, and it's really just holding them up. As now we brought ourselves back into play beautifully here. As now, can we optimize our exit out of this corner to get past our teammate? As I cannot believe Max Verstappen and Lando Norris are still going side by side. And now we're going to go up the inside of our teammate. Can we make the move stick and hold on to 3rd position? Yes, we do. Lando Norris leads the Grand Prix at the moment. And now it seems we have been pushing so hard, and it is paying off. Finally, can we get back past these two? Well, Norris is going to be under immense pressure here from Max Verstappen. Is he going to look for a move on the outside? Yes, he is. We're going to pick up a slipstream from Lando. And now we're going to have a slight look to the outside of Norris, but Verstappen does retake the lead of the Grand Prix. And we're going to hold on to 3rd unless we go extremely wide like we do there. Here comes Charles Leclerc on our outside, which you would think the team would just tell him to, kind of not fight us too hard. Because, we're in the title fight and everything, and Leclerc mathematically, literally can't win the title. But it seems the team will only tell us to move over for Charles for a win, but not the other way around. Oh, that's a terrible exit there for Lando Norris, and now we're both going to have DRS, but I'm going to get up the inside of the McLaren driver now, and can we make it 2 for the price of 1? Here comes Max Verstappen to defend from us, and now there's a little bit of contact. However, we do keep the car on the road as Verstappen there came over very aggressively, even more wheel banging. And now we're going to tuck into a slipstream. Can we get up the inside of the Dutchman? No, we cannot, and our championship rival holds on to the lead for now with 2 and a bit laps to go. Well, now, as we start the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix, we do still hold the fastest lap, and this time we're going to go to the outside of Max Verstappen. Very, very close there between the two of us, and the Dutchman does manage to hold the lead. I believe our best chance of getting past him will be into turn 1 the next time around, but remember, Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc and Oscar Piastri will all be looking for any opportunity they can to get past one of us. Well, this will be our final chance to get past Max Verstappen down into turn 1, and Lando Norris will have a great double slipstream as well, as now we're going to deploy all the battery we have, DRS wide open. And now what can we do on Max Verstappen? I'm going to go to the outside line, as now we're both going to harvest some battery on our cars, and now that's going to give us the inside for turn 2, and we do retake the lead of the Qatar Grand Prix, and now Lando Norris going side by side with Max Verstappen. Would you look at that? Lando Norris takes 2nd place right off of Verstappen there, being very opportunistic. And now we need to make sure we can get this to the end. I mean, you can see how bad the deg is. It was even worse on the medium tires, of course, being a softer compound than the hard. However, now it does look like this will be the finishing order unless we have some crazy last lap shenanigans. Can Max maybe send it down the inside on Lando or something like that? We will see. There's only a few corners left to go in this Grand Prix, and most of them are completely flat out, as now we head through the penultimate corner. This has been an amazing race for us. I mean, we got pole position, and now we have one more corner to go before the start-finish straight, and we're going to go all the way towards the line and come home to win the Qatar Grand Prix.
Ah, fantastic drive. That's just fantastic. Amazing. You deserved that race win. Well done, mate.
Well, Max Verstappen, of course, driver of the day, very deserved, coming home to finish an amazing P3, 10 places
That's a
up.
spectacular victory, and with it, the championship is secure. It's been a magnificent season, and they thoroughly deserve the cheers of the crowd here today.
This race really mattered for them today, Crofty. You know, it's close in the Drivers' Championship. You feel that pressure as a driver as it gets towards the end of the championship. And, you know, it's a big relief. It's a weight off of your shoulders, and you'll know that it was a job well done.
Here come our winners now, a thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again.
Well, Crofty there earlier was just talking about the constructor standings, not the driver's standings, of course. I believe we are equal on points now. I finished first with fastest lap, and Max finished third. So Lando Norris comes home for second with an amazing move on the final lap of the Grand Prix. And now this will be an epic showdown in Abu Dhabi between myself and Max Verstappen.
Well, what an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Well, Crofty there saying goodbye, and yes, look at that. Oh, yes, we are equal on points, 379 heading into the final round in Abu Dhabi. There's no catching us in the constructor standings. Of course, we knew that going into this race. Let's see what other kinds of battles we've got going on. We got Perez and Russell here. Alonso has a chance to get up a little bit higher. And in terms of constructors standings, there's also a battle between RB and Sauber and Williams, all kind of in that little bit of a mix. But yes, we do come home for the Grand Prix win by only a 10th from Lando Norris, then Max Verstappen, our teammate Charles Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Sergio Perez, Lewis Hamilton making up to 7th from 15th on the grid, so good recovery from him. Then comes George Russell, Fernando Alonso, and Pierre Gasly rounds out the points, and then Lance Stroll and Nico Hülkenberg both having mechanical DNFs. So, yeah, this is just incredible. Going into the final race of the season, the two championship protagonists, myself and Max Verstappen, equal on points, 379. Same thing happened between Max and Lewis in 2021. This time around, however, hopefully we can secure Ferrari's first Drivers' Championship since 2007 with Kimi Räikkönen, but you'll have to wait for that, as this is all for the Qatar Grand Prix and for this weekend's race. So I'll see you guys next time out in Abu Dhabi. Do not miss this championship finale.